thank you for being here today. So today we come to just stand behind and with the Minister against the looting of the public purse. We come united behind the Constitution and the South African flag and all the Chapter 9 institutions again. If nothing is done, I must say this, that if nothing is done and if there are no voices from our communities, this country will be worse than Zimbabwe. It will be bankrupt and plunge into poverty. If nothing is done, this whole thing will cause social distress and political turmoil in our country.
We should not defend when something is wrong. We must say, sorry, how can we fix this? What can we do? By the way, how many of us know what Chapter 9 institutions are? The Public Protector is one. That's a Chapter 9 institution. We must guard its independence. The Human Rights Commission, the South African Human Rights Commission, it's an official body, it's a Chapter 9 institution. Because your rights as a minority or a majority or anything around your rights is protected by that institution. Nobody must have influence over that. Nobody must be able to manipulate that. The independence must be protected and guarded. The Commission for the Protection of Religious and Cultural Rights is another one. The Commission for Gender Equality is another one. And the Auditor General. Can you imagine what would happen if the Auditor General has been captured? Then any report they produce, and if they produce a report, people are not going to take it seriously. And I'm confident that the Auditor General is fairly safe for now. They have been producing some excellent reports over the years. Once the independence of these institutions are compromised, the integrity of the country and its image is destroyed. Any report, in fact, the public will lose faith in these institutions, including the world. Investor confidence will go. I said earlier, the Freedom Charter remains the bedrock on which our Constitution is built. It is ordinary people like you and I that must protect it. Thank you very much.
Potchefstroom Hindu Cultural Federation, on behalf of the entire Hindu community of Potchefstroom and the region, support Mr. Pravin Gordhan and the Office of the Finance Ministry. We are encouraged by the stand taken by Mr. Pravin Gordhan to ensure that state capture doesn't happen again, neither does the organs of the state misused for the benefit of some individuals.
I really congratulate all of you for definitely a people who stand for justice is a people chosen by God. And you are the chosen people. And why I say this is because in various chapters of the Quran, God reiterates the fact that justice comes first. And these men sitting here, and more so my beloved friend Selvan Chetty, I honor you and I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and I hope that we go forward in this very ardent task to take this community and this active movement from strength to strength.
It is time that we all take an active stand against corruption. Perpetrators have already taken 2 public swipes at Pravin. Who knows when the third will come, or when an attempt will be made to remove the next good man. A large number of people have already realized that their bread is buttered on the other side. Let us pledge to stand together for good, in however small the difference is that we can make.
As business people, we look to the government of the day to provide an environment that is conducive to us working towards achieving this transformative agenda. And this will include a stable legislative environment, fairness and equitable treatment under the law, respect and support for Chapter 9 institutions and their heads and management, responsible and ethical leadership and governance. Now, clearly of late, none of these preconditions have been met. Indeed, it could be argued that certain elements in the sitting government have gone out of their way to actively undermine these precepts.
I think we're meeting here today largely because we love this country, We care about this country, we're passionate about this country, and because of those things, we are deeply, deeply saddened by the events that have unfolded over the past couple of years, and particularly in recent months. And they range from anything state capture to corruption, to the lies, the falsehood, the brokenness, and the list goes on and on, depressingly long. And the gap between the rich and the poor has grown even wider over the last couple of decades. We're seeing a huge disrespect for our Constitution, as if it's some sort of comic book article. We are witnessing and have witnessed on a large scale the lack of accountability on the part of our leaders. We've seen the abuse and misuse of state institutions such as the NPA, which has been used as a bit of a pawn in recent months. In addition to all those things, my reading of the situation is that we're seeing an ever-deepening problem of racism. You have to be able to make a commitment, otherwise you don't have the right to complain. You don't have the right to complain if you are not prepared to get up and be counted and to do something, however small or big that is. Do you understand what I'm saying? How do you think Pravin Gordhan was in charge? You think somebody in Luthuli House made that decision? It's because of the citizenry of this country who protested, who raised their voices and said, you shall not do that to him. And this reverberated throughout the length and breadth of this country. And so the head of the NPA, and I'm being kind today, I'm not even picking on him, though I have to say, if he can make up for the wrongs that he has done, for allowing himself to be a surrogate, the best he can do is to step down, to resign, and to allow the country to get on with what he wants to do. But if he thinks he's going to stay on there, continue in that job, well, his life's going to be miserable. You and I won't have to do it, but somebody else will. And then my last comment to you, as I just try to give an overview of things, is, I'm just going to say this briefly. I'd love to spell it out, but there's no time to do it. I think the country has to work on a new economic dispensation. Under the present dispensation, poverty will continue, homelessness will continue, and you're not solving the problem when you're just giving people handouts. Do you see what I'm saying? That 2 kids, because they have a child, you're going to give them an extra grant, and so on. We have to restructure this economy. I'm not an economist, but I do know about sharing. I do know about the responsibility that economists have and governments have, but we need to restructure this economy so people don't have to go about begging for things, but that the economy works in everybody's interest. Do you hear what I'm saying? So I share those things with you, and I thank you for being a keen listener. Thank you.